Anytime we're in judgment mode, anytime we're pointing fingers, blaming, externalizing our safety, putting it in the hands of others, it's because we feel a lack of control. I feel like the past couple days have been the biggest test for me around whether or not I truly believe in the power of creating my own reality. I've been knocked down for the past couple of days in response to what's going on in this country, right? And I really felt helpless and hopeless. I feel surrounded by people who don't value my well-being or even my livelihood or my qualification as a human being. And it's really caused me to go deep, 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 deep within and think about whether I truly believe in what I say I believe in with regards to manifestation and creating my own reality. Because, how could I have created this, right? And it took me deep into a state of judgment. I have a lot of judgments around how something like this could happen. And so I felt this sense of helplessness, and it triggered this strong judgments of the people who made the decision to take us down this path. And I understand how human psychology works, and I actually do understand how people arrive at certain conclusions or states of mind. I've done lots of research on it. I just find it so disheartening, even though I know and understand how it happens. And so today in this video, I want to talk about my slip into judgment and what that means. How judgment is like a safety mechanism, right? It's something that kicks into gear when we feel unsafe. And so I immediately jumped into judgment mode. Like, I was on my social medias, just, reposting and validating what people were saying about the kinds of people that would vote the way they did in America. And judgment really does indicate a lack of belief in our autonomy. I was feeling like something was taken away from me, that my autonomy had been taken away from me. It forced me into something that I used to be engaged in a lot more, which is black and white thinking. So black and white thinking allows us to sort things in a way that makes us feel safe. And I was becoming super judgmental. I was externalizing blame for the reality that I'm in, and I was abdicating my own power, voluntarily abdicating my own power. So anytime we're in judgment mode, anytime we're pointing fingers, blaming, externalizing our safety, putting it in the hands of others, it's because we feel a lack of control. I had to sit and reflect on the reality that a lot of people made these choices because that's what they've been doing all along up to this point. They've been experiencing hardship. They have run into roadblocks and challenges, and their choices are based on their belief that that choice would relieve them of those roadblocks and challenges. And going into judgment mode automatically shifted me into empathy mode because it helped me understand the level of emotion that contributed to some of the choices that were made during this election process. And then I had to remind myself that when I was operating in a mode of agency, I experienced so many positive experiences, like during COVID, when everyone was losing their jobs and everyone was struggling with all kinds of, other issues that came from the pandemic. I doubled my income. I experienced health. In my family, we didn't really face those types of challenges. I've since doubled my income again. As the economy has been unstable, as inflation has gone through the roof, so has my income. And so I've been able to stay comfortable and even become more comfortable financially. And it's all been because I have stayed in the mindset that I'm in control of my reality. And so I had to tell myself that nothing is different now, right? Like, I'm still in control of my reality. When the pandemic was happening, when inflation was happening, I still didn't really have control over those things, but I had complete control over my own individual reality. And I learned very well how to regulate my emotions by remembering who I am and what I'm capable of and what I have access to. And none of that has changed in these current circumstances. So I'm looking at this time as something that's happening for me, not to me. I've been through so many things. I've been through so many challenges, similar to what other people in this country have been through, other people in the world have been through. And this mindset that I still have agency over my reality is what has kept me comfortable, what has turned every obstacle into an advantage, no matter what. Like, everything that's been thrown at me has been like a stepping stone or stepping stool to greater success, to greater prosperity, to more peace, to more abundance. And so the magnitude of each of those things that happened around me directly correlated to the magnitude of the bump in my abundance and my success. So looking at the magnitude of this, like, the things that are happening in the US right now are impacting the entire world. It's not just impacting citizens of the US. Lots of people are watching us. I don't know why we've ended up as like this. I don't know how to explain it, but the world is watching. And the world understands that somehow the choices that we make here and the experiences that we have here and the direction that we go in here is impacting the world. So the magnitude of what's happening excites me based on my history, right? The magnitude of this will directly correlate to the magnitude of my abundance and success. And so now I've shifted, I've snapped out of it. I took a few days to really reflect on everything that's going on. But now I understand that it's still for me, no matter what it looks like. And what I have to do is look at what's happening, look at how I've been prepared along the way. And I can go into more detail about that in future videos. But there's been a lot of things happening that were seemingly inconsequential that have prepared me for this time and put me in a certain position. And because I've got so much experience with the universe preparing me in this way, preparing me in ways that I didn't realize were preparation, setting me up to catapult me into more of what I desire, now I can look at it and with the wisdom of having experienced it before, say, okay, this is why this happened. This is what the universe is preparing me for. This is what I think I'm being called by my higher self to do next, based on, my experiences in the past and what's been happening lately. So now, instead of, panicking because things are changing, I'm recognizing that this is just more of the same of the things that I've come up against that have catapulted me into more abundance before. And so I can take comfort, and there's a lot of mental gymnastics going on that I can see around me. There are people that I can feel the energy of them trying to convince themselves that something is true. This is different. In my case, I've experienced this before and come out on the other side. And I'm not saying that everybody's trying to convince themselves that things aren't as they seem, but some people are. Some of us, though, understand that these challenges are meant to transform. Pluto is making its return. Well, the Americas is having its Pluto return right now. And Pluto is a planet of deep transformation. So the things that we're seeing we're meant to be, basically. And what we have to look at and remember is that as a collective, everything that we are doing in this reality is for our ascension. It's designed to expand our consciousness in some way. And if we remember that, then we can navigate this in a way that allows more freedom, more abundance, more enlightenment, more ascension. And so I will find peace in that. I'll share that journey with you guys. I'll share with you, things that are going on in my everyday life and how I'm using this awareness of who I truly am as a creator being to navigate this experience. And right now what I'm doing is putting together all the clues, all the things that have led up to this moment, and using that to connect with my higher self and make decisions about how to proceed. One of those decisions is to get way more active here on this platform. And so I'll be posting polls for you guys. I'll be posting in the community, finding out, what it is that's needed by the collective in this time. I feel like I have a lot to offer. I have, over 120 different topics that I've just gathered. I'll be, taking a walk out in the sun or meditating, and I'll get these downloads, and I have all of this stuff just kind of piled up to share with you guys. And so if you can relate to what I'm talking about today, if you need a little extra boost to help you remember your power when it comes to creating, then comment below. I want to create community for those of us who have had success in manifesting and understand the true nature of reality and how much influence we have over it. I want to create that sense of community for all of us. I want to share ideas. So if there are things and topics that you guys want to see on the channel, just leave those comments below. I'm going to try not to be such a perfectionist and just post something as often as I can. I would say every day. In my mind, it's going to be every day, but in reality, it'll probably be most days. And your feedback is really, really important to me. So for those of you who made it to the end of the video, thank you. I look forward to seeing your comments, and happy creating.